What if you could push something without touching it? Imagine a spacecraft gliding through space. No rocket exhaust, no fuel, just silent motion. This is the dream of space travel, moving without pushing anything back. For centuries, Newton's third law has forbidden this. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. To go forward, you must push something back, always. But what if there's a loophole? This isn't just science fiction. Real scientists are asking this question today. They're building machines that claim to generate a force from within. A push with no pushback. It's a claim so extraordinary it challenges the very foundation of physics. If true, it could revolutionize technology. Spacecraft could accelerate indefinitely. Flying cars could hover silently. And our energy crisis could be redefined. But if it's a mistake, it's a cautionary tale about the power of belief over scientific rigor. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to unimaginable futures. The other to the familiar laws of physics. This is a story of controversy, bold claims, and the challenge of proving the impossible. It begins not in the distant future, but here and now, with a respected engineer who once helped send humanity to the stars. He now claims to have found a way to move through space without leaving anything behind. The stakes are immense, and the implications could ripple through every aspect of our civilization. Are we on the verge of a revolution or a grand delusion? The journey starts with a man whose reputation demands we take his claims seriously. To judge an extraordinary claim, you must know the person behind it. Charles Buehler isn't a fringe inventor. He's a NASA veteran, a scientist with a pedigree forged at the Kennedy Space Center. He worked on electrostatic systems, protecting vital missions from lightning and static discharge. His credentials are impeccable: multiple patents, NASA honors, and co-founder of a key laboratory. Buehler spent his career solving complex problems within the known rules of physics. That's what makes his new claim so shocking. He's an insider saying the system is incomplete. When someone of his stature challenges fundamental physics, the scientific community must listen. Buehler isn't prone to wild ideas. He spent a lifetime mastering the forces he now claims to have harnessed in a new way. His reputation demands a serious, critical look at his work. The drama. The man who protected rockets now claims to have built a machine that bypasses Newton's third law. Has he made a monumental breakthrough, or has a brilliant mind been fooled by a subtle illusion? The answer could change everything. At the 2023 Alternative Propulsion Energy Conference, Charles Buehler and Exodus Propulsion Technologies made a stunning claim. They presented a working prototype that they said could generate thrust without expelling any propellant. The device looked simple, just electrodes and dielectrics, but its function was anything but. Buehler's team claimed their machine produced a new kind of force, arising purely from electric fields. When high voltage is applied, a net thrust is generated. The device pushes itself forward. They reported small but persistent forces enough to defy simple explanation. Demonstrators moved on their own, powered only by electricity. The implications were clear. This could one day propel spacecraft in the vacuum of space indefinitely with just electrical power. The evidence included videos and live demonstrations. Small carts rolling across tables, force sensors registering a push. The forces were tiny, but any force at all without exhaust is an anomaly. In physics, a force of zero is expected. Anything more is a challenge to the laws we know. This anomaly, demonstrated by a credible NASA veteran, sent ripples of excitement and skepticism through the scientific community. Was this the birth of a new technological paradigm, or a mistake waiting to be uncovered? To grasp the magnitude of Buehler's claim, we must revisit Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Rockets embody this law. They move by throwing mass away as exhaust. Without expelled mass, a rocket is just a metal tube. It can't push against the vacuum. Buehler's device claims to break this rule. No nozzle, no fuel, no exhaust, yet it produces thrust. From the perspective of classical physics, this is impossible, like lifting yourself by your own bootstraps. The system shouldn't be able to change its momentum without interacting with something outside itself. If nothing is pushed backward, the law is broken, or at least incomplete. This is why the claim is so controversial. It's not just a new technology, it's a direct challenge to the foundation of mechanics. If a closed system can generate a net force, momentum isn't conserved. Conservation of momentum is one of the most sacred, well-tested ideas in science. To suggest it can be violated is to suggest we need to rewrite physics from the ground up. Buehler's machine is a ghost in the machine, a force with no apparent origin. The reaction is missing, or perhaps hidden in a way we don't yet understand. This is the heart of the controversy. Is it a loophole in Newton's law, or a misinterpretation of the data? The answer could reshape our understanding of the universe. How does this machine supposedly work? Buehler's team says it doesn't break Newton's law, it finds a new way to fulfill it. The device uses asymmetric electric fields created by electrodes separated by a dielectric. When high voltage is applied, the field isn't uniform, it creates a pressure differential. The theory, the electric field interacts with subatomic particles in the device, creating a net force in one direction. The device is engineered to create an internal imbalance of electrostatic forces, resulting in an external push. In simple terms, it creates pressure in the field ahead and a vacuum behind, pushing itself forward. The reaction, they argue, is a change in the electric field itself. Critics say any internal forces should cancel out, and observed thrust is likely due to mundane effects like ion wind. Buehler's team insists they've tested in a vacuum, but skepticism remains. Buehler's experiments revealed an even stranger effect. Sometimes the force didn't vanish when the power was switched off. The sensors registered a lingering, decaying thrust for seconds after shutdown. This ghost force defies easy explanation. Ion wind or thermal currents should stop instantly. Buehler's team speculates the electric fields might cause polarization or stress in the device or even the quantum vacuum, which then relaxes slowly. This lingering effect is a critical piece of evidence for proponents. If the force were just air movement, it should disappear instantly. The fact that it lingers suggests something deeper is at work. The mystery deepens, and the need for independent, rigorous verification grows. The quest for propellantless propulsion isn't limited to Buehler. IVO Ltd, led by Richard Mansell and physicist Mike McCulloch, is testing a drive based on a radical theory-quantized inertia. Quantized inertia proposes that inertia comes from an object's interaction with the quantum vacuum, not from mass itself. When an object accelerates, it experiences Unruh radiation, a pressure from the vacuum. IVO's device aims to suppress this radiation on one side, creating a pressure difference and net thrust. In 2021, IVO launched a satellite to test their drive in orbit. A successful demonstration would be world-changing, validating a new form of propulsion and a radical theory of inertia. But quantized inertia is highly speculative and not widely accepted. Like Buehler's work, IVO's project faces intense skepticism. The results are still being analyzed, but the quest has reached the final frontier. Before we get swept up by these new claims, we must remember the EM drive. For years, the EM drive, a cone-shaped cavity pumped with microwaves, claimed to produce thrust with no exhaust. Labs worldwide, including NASA, reported small but persistent thrust. The excitement was immense, but as more rigorous tests were done, the dream faded. Independent teams found the measured thrust was due to thermal effects, not new physics. The EM drive story is a cautionary tale. Measuring tiny forces is incredibly difficult, and mundane effects can fool even the best scientists. It highlights the necessity of independent verification and the danger of confirmation bias. Any new claim, Buehler's IVOs, must be viewed through this lens. The scientific method demands skepticism and rigorous testing. History is filled with beautiful theories slain by ugly facts. Only the harsh filter of science can reveal the truth. We stand at a crossroads in science. On one side, centuries of wisdom, Newton's laws, and the impossibility of propulsion without propellant. On the other, credible engineers and physicists claiming to have achieved the impossible. If proven correct, the consequences would be vast. Our journey to the stars could leap forward and physics itself would need rewriting. Or is this another illusion? A repeat of the EM drive saga? The forces are minuscule and the potential for error is enormous. Only rigorous independent testing can resolve the question. Until then, we watch as modern explorers navigate between the known and the unknown. The answer, whatever it is, will teach us something profound about our universe. The suspense continues. Revolution or illusion, the truth awaits.